And then finally, in today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily, one of the candidates challenging Chief Justice Deborah Stevens for position 7 on the Washington State Supreme Court is encouraging use of artificial intelligence by judges and attorneys. He says, so long as finally the determination that's ultimately made is made by a human being. So, my colleague Tim Clauser, who has been interviewing many Supreme Court candidates at a time when these races have never been more important, with 5 open seats on your primary ballot, you have likely seen some of those races. He has this candidate profile in today's episode.
If you want to use your particular brand of AI to write your briefs, I would encourage you to do that. But you need to go and read up on what those briefs say. You need to make sure it lines up with what you believe, because you are going to have to go present those findings or your position in court. You're not going to be able to take your chatbot with you. But yes, you need to be prepared. You have to check your sources. You have to read the cases. There's no substitute for that. And it's almost, I don't really see much difference. When you really think about what AI is, right? All it is autocorrect. At the most fundamental principle, right? Autocorrect was taking a couple of characters and trying to predict, or text prediction, predict what the next things were going to be. And so fundamentally, that's all it is. It's just an autocorrect. And so if you are an attorney doing this, you need to go in and you can go ahead, let AI go do all that work for you, but go out. You need to check the cases. You need to make sure that you're confident saying the words that you're going to say on paper and signing it. That's your name. Your bar card is always on the line. You still have ethical responsibilities, right? Like, for example, like I can't just like cite to cases that don't exist. There's a rule that says that I even have to cite to the opposing arguments, right? So those rules still exist. I believe you can easily incorporate AI into your practice and still comply with the rules of professional conduct as written. There's no excuse for any lawyer using AI and not checking its work. There's every excuse, and it's totally justified for a lawyer to exclusively use AI in their work, properly check all the sources and all the information in that brief, and then submit it to the court. Absolutely 100% acceptable. And I would be hard pressed to find any judge to disagree with that.
Now, Washington State's midterm primary election is 2 weeks from today, August 4th, the deadline to get your ballots in. Of course, you've probably already received those in the mail. If you haven't already, they will be coming today or tomorrow for certain, and you want to get those filled out and mailed back. And I would encourage you to check out my colleague Tim Clauser's many articles published on our The Center Square Washington page, because he has done more in-depth candidate profiles, candidate Q&As with many of these candidates for those 5 open seats. There are some of these races have 4, 5, 6 candidates that are running. All those going to be narrowed down to the top 2 vote getters based on the primary. So if you haven't had a chance to familiarize yourself with some of these candidates, check out Tim's coverage. I'm a little biased, of course, because he's my colleague, but I think that his reporting and his candidate profiles have been unmatched by any other reporting here in the state of Washington leading up to this all important primary election. He will continue to cover the candidates once the primary is narrowed down to 2 and we're moving toward the November election. So that's it for today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily for this Tuesday, the 21st of July, 2026. Thanks as always for watching. Check out our Center Square Washington page and like and subscribe to our podcast here at Washington in Focus Daily. We'll see you tomorrow.